Welcome back to our Formula One 2025 preseason testing coverage. The final day in Bahrain gave us a clearer look at the pecking order before the season kicks off. Mercedes topped the timesheets, but Red Bull followed closely and McLaren showed serious long-run pace. And what's going on at Ferrari? Let's break it all down. Mercedes were fastest on day 3. Kimi Antonelli had a standout morning session, nearly topping the charts in his Mercedes. At one point, he was the fastest driver in all 3 sectors, but couldn't piece them together for a perfect lap. If he had, he would have been 4/10 clear at the top. Kimi Antonelli showcased a distinctive driving approach. He was the only driver consistently riding over the outside of the curbs in high-speed corners, something we didn't see from anyone else. Could this be a sign of his aggressive adaptation to F1, or a technique that gives him an edge? Definitely something to watch as the season unfolds. George Russell took over the Mercedes for the afternoon session, focusing on race simulations for most of the day. But just minutes before the session ended, he went for a qualifying run and set the fastest time of the day with a 1 minute and 29.545 seconds, beating Verstappen by just 0.021 seconds on the C3 tire. A strong statement from Mercedes heading into the season. Red Bull, Verstappen just misses P1. Max Verstappen spent the morning session testing different nose designs on the RB21, finishing 4th and nearly 4/10 off the top time. In the afternoon, he shifted focus to race simulations but made a late push for the fastest lap. With a 1 minute and 29.57 seconds run, he briefly topped the timesheets, only for George Russell to edge him out by just 0.021 seconds. A tight battle at the top as testing wraps up. McLaren, strong pace, but oversteer issues. Lando Norris impressed in the morning session, securing P3 despite running the harder C2 tire. However, he struggled with oversteer, particularly at turn 4. Despite these challenges, McLaren's long-run pace suggests they are the fastest car overall, though questions remain about their fuel loads and engine modes. In the afternoon, Oscar Piastri took over and put in a solid run, setting a 1 minute and 29.94 seconds lap, just under 4/10 behind George Russell's fastest time. McLaren remains a strong contender, but how much of their long-run pace is real? We'll find out soon enough. Ferrari, quick in the morning, struggles in the afternoon. Charles Leclerc topped the morning session, edging out Mercedes rookie Kimi Antonelli by just 0.077 seconds. However, his fastest lap may have been helped by calmer wind conditions earlier in the session. In the afternoon, Lewis Hamilton took over the Ferrari and was the fastest of the team, but his time was still 8/10 off George Russell. While Hamilton used the faster C4 tire, the other top runners set their best laps on the C3. Adjusting for tire performance, his C3 equivalent time would have been nearly a second slower, highlighting Ferrari's struggles with one-lap pace. They have work to do before the first race. Jack Doohan took P5 for Alpine, 2/10 ahead of Alex Albon's Williams. These two teams seem to be leading the midfield battle, while Aston Martin, Racing Bulls, Sauber, and Haas continue to struggle. In the afternoon session, Pierre Gasly set a blistering lap time on the C3 tire to go fastest at the time. As others set their lap times, Gasly eventually dropped to 5th place. Alex Albon in the Williams beat Gasly's time by 4/10, although using the faster C4 tire. Albon's time was good enough 3rd place of the session. That's a wrap on the final day of preseason testing. Mercedes leads the way, but Red Bull, McLaren, and Ferrari are all in the fight. Who do you think has the edge going into the new season? Drop your predictions in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for all the latest F1 updates.